hated rock stars. I am super sick, but I want to make sure you're taken care of and you have a good way to scrape data. One of the fun things about data they don't tell you as much in the classes we take and everything is that everything breaks all the time, and just getting things to work and data quality is always the tricky thing. And obviously, not every company wants you to scrape their data and everything, so it has been determined that it is legal in most cases to scrape data, but a lot of times, for various reasons, they don't want you to do that because they want you to pay for their own service, which of course you should if you can. And we're just trying to get a sample of how to work with everything here. But sometimes you do want to scrape the data out there and see what competitors are doing or other products and things like that. But nevertheless, we're going to try to do what we can right now. I am super under the weather, so I'm going to truck on through this, but we're going to try two scrapers this evening, and hopefully one of those two will work for you. If you have another one that works on your browser with an extension or a piece of software you have on your laptop, then by all means use the one that you can. You will notice there's a lot of different versions of ones that use the developer tools in a browser, one that you can use more of like a highlight, kind of like you would cut and paste, and then it looks at the tables, and that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Sometimes they think you're a bot and they try to stop you, as we've had for a few people. But let's start with just this Star Engage influencer page here. I have the one up for Aruba, so use that link. Star Engage tries to share a little bit of samples of things, and they also have some things that require you to log in. If you use this link, which right now is for the Aruba Instagram influencers, you could change that to a different country other than Aruba, since maybe there's a different country you're targeting, uh, and you can change that, and it'll change the URL above. And you can also choose, instead of Instagram, maybe TikTok. I'm sure there's some TikTok influencers in Australia, probably vacationing in Bali and whatnot. Um, so yeah, you could do that. Let's just take this one and we'll try the two scrapers that I mentioned there. So one of them I noticed is Browse AI. So here in the Chrome Web Store, you can search for Browse AI, fast web scraping and monitoring. Uh, Bear with me, I'm barely surviving over here. And then once you install it, you can set that up. You'll see it in your extension box with Browse AI. So let's go ahead and do that. It's already there, so go ahead and install yours, and then I'm going to click my little extension thing and then find wherever the heck that went. It's probably asking for permissions down here, so access requested. Click Browse AI and see what happens. So we're going to activate the extension, go through their little onboarding process here. What we're going to do is extract structured data. They also have something that can monitor site changes. Looks pretty cool. So, all right, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of stuff here. We don't have time. We're going to take this link, copy that over to this new page they have, and it says origin URL. Control V that after I Control C it there. And this one doesn't need logging in, so we're just going to say start recording task. Okay, we want to grant permission to Browse AI, and we're going to let it work in incognito mode there. So you're going to click allow in incognito mode. And then once we're back here, figures it out. That's okay. Now I'm going to click start recording task again. See what happens. It's going to pull up a incognito window that it's monitoring, and ding, ding, ding. Here we go. All right. Okay. Understand. I didn't really read that, but whatever. I'm going to click this robot. All right, so let's give this a go and see what happens. We're going to click the capture list after that robot thing. It has this selection that tries to pull out the table or section of the website that you're looking at. It's going to take a little bit of finicky moving around and seeing if you can get the things you need. And that's probably going to happen to me right now too. So I'm going to see if I can get this table here with everything. Of course, we could just add our own names, so that's not as important as getting all of this stuff. So I'm going to try this with everything. If you can get it just for the fields at a time that you need, that's great. So I'm going to click the profile name there, and I'm going to click capture visible text. I don't really care about the link back to the Star Engage profile, but if you need to hire them, by all means, capture the link and give them a call to hire your influencer. But let's just capture the text of that profile name. Looks like it automatically pulled in the country, and it didn't get followers, so, and a reach, which I really want. So I'm going to see if I can get that. So I click that, it seems to be pulling it in, and I want it reach as well. All right, so it kind of did everything. We might not care about this link stuff on the end and the star and the image, which is annoying, but let's see what happens with this mess of stuff. Right. So you do press enter to finish, as you see on the list there. Um, cool. So now it's asking us for the data field names, which are those titles above this. You could call this name or profile or influencer. Um, the one that I would make sure that is correct is followers, because if we're gonna convert this later in Excel or Tableau to have, 1.1 million instead of the M there, you want it to be an actual number. I believe the field that I use for calculations is called followers, so probably want to make that one exact. And that one is reach. Uh, okay, so it just got name, followers, and reach, which is fine. Since I'm doing all one country anyway, in Australia, I don't really need it. It does not look like it is pulling it in the right way. This looks messed up, so I'm gonna try this again. So, yeah, everything's not gonna go perfect. So I'm not gonna re-record this part because I want you to know that it doesn't always go the way you think it's gonna go. So maybe I'll try it like this where everything is highlighted and then see if I can capture visible text there. Is it gonna do the whole row? Maybe not, so we're just gonna troubleshoot, kind of go through things. Escape seems to undo. Okay. So there was ones like this where it had everything in rows, like that, and there was ones where they were just partially like that, like this. All right, let's try this, see what happens. Click that, capture visible text. All right, that looks good. Sweet. All right, this is one at a time. I like this. So maybe by the rows is helping it turn it into data for us. Gotta love rows. Rows are great. Don't let me down. The star engaged right here. Okay, followers. Got that. See if we can get country. Capture visible text. And one more. Reach. All right, this looks pretty good. Enter to finish. And we've got name or influencer. We've got followers. We've got country. And we've got reach. All right, so don't go too fast. Look at that. Perfect. Looks awesome. Captured list. We are going to call this influencers. Very creative right now on cold medicine. So what is the maximum number of rows we want to extract? I believe for this product, there's maybe like a 200 limits. So again, be conscious of your limits and whatever the free credits you have. And pagination. So there are more pages, and if it's going to let us do them, that would be awesome. So we're going to click on next to navigate to the next page and scroll on down to the end to the next button, which is here. And capture list. Well done. You showed a robot how to capture the list for you. Okay, understood. Thank you, robot. So I'm going to click the robot again and click finish recording. Uploading recording. And it names the robot. Okay, whatever. All right, so add it to the queue. And talk amongst yourselves as this goes through. And I know this is frustrating for you, as it is for me, and it changes all the time. And that's what you have to do when you're doing something that requires scraping, or if you're a developer and the APIs are changing and all of that sort of thing. So or apps are updating or frameworks are updating. So a good part of technology is dealing with the frustrations of how to figure out how to make things work. And a lot of times you're going to get an assignment from someone and your manager is not necessarily going to know how to do it perfectly. If they did, then they wouldn't need you. So a lot of the times it's like, hey, I need you to extract this from something and figure it out. So it's a lot more different than in some sort of a university class where they have all the answers. Like if you're in ops class, there's a specific way to solve for that. Here you go. All right, review the results. Boom. See all 100 items. So I got 100, looks pretty good, and we've got a CSV. So boom, if my computer can download it, but you should be fine there. All right, we have a data piece of CSV. I can't talk. I am going insane. There you go. Position, you got your influencer name, followers, and reach. And like I said, for these two files, you can create a calculation in Tableau or even Excel. But I have a Tableau one out there that I will post in the comments. So that can be a normal number. And all right, so we are good with Star Engage and this particular browse.ai scraper. I'm going to give one more option since for some reason, everyone in their own way to work with things may need another option because it doesn't always work perfect. And you may be using different tools besides Star Engage as well, but we're going to use that for an example. I have another one, Grepser, web scraping tool on the Chrome Web Store. It is installed and ready to rock, so we are going to try Grepser. So the ones that are the most difficult to find a good free one for these scrapers are ones that let you do multi-page because a lot of them want to monetize, and that's kind of where they draw the line on someone testing it out and them charging for a subscription. And some of them have added that in over the last few months, so that was a bit frustrating. But if you go here and then find your Grepser web scraping tool, so this works a lot like one of my favorite tools, ParseHub. It's just within the browser instead of within a desktop application, and it's going field by field. So we're going to try to click a field here as it's got this blue bar at the top. I'm going to try this Queen of TikTok over here, and it's got all those green ones down. So this one looks good. It's actually doing what I want it to do and go all the way down that column and get all of them. I bet that won't happen on all of these. Maybe it does, and then you won't even have any troubleshoot. There you go. What the heck is that? Hmm. Let's reset that and try again. So, oh yeah, we did one at a time. So let's click this first one. And now it doesn't want to work. Fun times. Okay, I'll do Shack TV. There you go. Okay, save selection, and we're gonna call that name. So you do these one at a time. So save. We've got name good, and now we're going to do uh, followers. So now look, it tried to get everything. So we don't want everything. So I'm going to try to see if instead of undoing all that, I can just X out the stuff that doesn't make sense and maybe it'll figure it out. This one is giving me a little trouble here, but now it has it. So you just have to kind of play this little game here. And so that's going to save selection and call it followers, save fields. Now we're on to the next one. We want engagement rates, and it's going to mess with me a little bit more. This will be entertaining for a minute as Sick Taylor gets a little frustrated. Actually, let's reset that, see if I can get that first one, because I want to make sure that we have the right rows of data in there. Oh, goodness. Uh, Come on. Oh, well, let's go back to that one. Let's try reach first. Okay. Giving me a headache there, but save selection. We've got reach. Perfect. Save fields. And let's try one more for the engagement rates. Come on, engagement rate. I know you want to get in my data. And got it. So have fun getting that right. Just takes a little massaging, I guess. And that is an important field, though. So we want engagement rates. And now we're done with the fields that we want. And I'm going to click next. And does this page have pagination? Yes, it has a load more, or no, yes, it has a next link. Load more is different than that. We have a next link. So now we're going to scroll all the way down like we did before, find that next link here, click that, and done. So here's a review of what we got. It looks good on the sample. Do you want to go to any of the following links? No, I do not want to go to any of the following. Does it require login? No. There's our sample data. You can click CSV. Looks awesome. All right, we are in business. Continue. Sign in with the Google. Un momento, there was an error logging you in. Hilarious. Okay, so okay. All right, well, that's fun. Let me bring it up in another window. So it will look like this. Uh, I did it before, which is why it's here in the project. So you want to save your project as a name after you log in with your Google account. With this one, you do have free credits as well. So you have 700 credits. And so here's what we just saw with Grepster. There's this data preview, and then there's this button that says configure and run. So I already ran it, but looks like I have some credits. So I'm going to go ahead and run it again. So I'm going to say configure and run. And now we can do this for different URLs. So remember we changed Star Engage to be Australia. So you can do this multiple times. So if you chose besides Aruba and you chose Australia, or wanted to do Austria or Norway, whatever you want to do, or TikTok and Instagram, then you could just paste this here and click run report. So it's going to take a few minutes to kind of run through this and then give us some results. If you have a ton of pages on a site and you're scraping through, this could take, hours as it goes through there, especially because it's trying not to do it too fast and get locked out like it would think a bot is. But now you can see the times I've uh, run the process. I ran it a little bit earlier, and then you can see the downloads for each time you ran it. So there we go. We have some data we can download. So there we go. Open that up, see what we have. And we have the influencers, the followers, the engagement rate, and the reach. So those are two scrapers at least you can use that will get multiple pages of results for you in a CSV file for free in a Chrome extension. So give these a go, and hopefully one of them will work for you. Keep trying to finesse how it selects those rows and columns of data and see what you can do there. And thanks. Yeah, give it a go. All right, Data Rockstars, we're going to do one more thing before I crawl under this sheets and don't wake up until next week. So in the data that you downloaded, you probably noticed you had the thousands K and millions M, and if you tried to maybe graph that in Tableau, it'd look something like this, where you pull in that influencer name and pull in followers, and maybe you just want it to display like that. If so, cool, it's time to go home. But if you wanted to do a graph, as you'll notice, they are grayed out because that is a text string ABC, and it's not quite as simple because it doesn't know that if I convert that to a number, it doesn't know the K and the M yet, which is pretty dumb, and I'm sure they'll eventually fix that by AI, but it hasn't yet, so at least I did some work for you and created formulas. So it is, at least you don't have to figure it out. I do it in 3 steps because I like to kind of keep it clear, and then I kind of document around it what each one is doing. So if you're a developer, it's kind of nice sometimes to break those things out into multiple calculations. You could all do this in one and make it really complicated, but it gives me a headache. So I think it's a little bit clearer and easier to understand, especially if you need to change something later or you notice a problem, you can do that. So what we do is create 3 calculations. Make sure that followers is titled exactly that, or you change it in the formulas, and we can go from there. So we can right click, create a calculated field, and we're going to call this followers full text of number. So I'm just going for lengthy just for description's sake, and I'm going to call it that. Just cut and paste that, and then this code. So we can look at it real quick to see what it's doing, but we're just saying if it contains M, replace it with those number of digits that equal a million, and if it contains K, add for those 3 zeros that make it 1,000. And man, the screen is bright late at night. Sorry, I look washed out like a ghost. So we're going to click OK, and we have followers full text of number. Note that is still a text string, ABC, and that's okay. We're not to a number yet. So now we're going to do a new calculated field, and we're going to call it followers no dots. And this one's a little bit simpler. We're going to do that. So we're going to remove the dot there because that is a decimal and a number, and that will confuse things and make it not right. So we're going to replace the dot with nothing. And what does it want? Oh, followers. I must have called it something different, so that's okay. You can delete that, and you can drag and drop what it actually is there. See, hopefully that'll work. And then we're going to convert the string to a number. So we're still on text string. One last thing, call it followers number. And we just are going to use the function int, integer, around that. So we're going to create a new calculated field, followers number. And you could just type this int and then drop in followers no dots there and close parentheses. Not some random stuff that you typed in your keyboard because you're delirious. And okay, so followers number. So now we can bring in followers number there, and it's a totally normal number. Yay! Congratulations, fantastic. All right, so now you can do a bar chart, you can sort, you can do a bubble charts with the size of the influencers and all of that. And you can do the same thing for reach as well. I don't have it do generic names, so you'd have to do that with 3 new calculations again, or you could transfer the name of the variable somehow. So whatever you want to do there, but kind of fun. Maybe do name and detail. Yeah, just make a better graph. I'm too tired to make a good graph. Maybe we'll just do a bar graph there, get it off the default color at least, and have some fun. So there you go. Have fun.